Welcome to today's explainer. If you're gearing up to learn German, or maybe you're planning a trip and want to confidently navigate German-speaking countries, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're focusing on one absolutely fundamental building block: how to greet people. We're gonna look at the different forms of greetings used across various regions, breaking them down visually so you can understand exactly when, where, and how to use them. Let's get right into it. We've carefully distilled this down to exactly 13 essential greetings. Now you might be wondering, why just 13? Well, mastering this specific set is going to give you a remarkably strong foundational feel for German pronunciation. But here's the secret to really getting a good command of a language: you have to actively participate. As we go through these, I highly encourage you to repeat what you hear out loud. Seriously, speak up right where you're sitting. It's literally the best way to learn. Okay, let's dive into this. We're gonna cover 4 main areas today. First up, universal standards. Second, time-based readings. Third, regional greetings heading southward. And finally, farewells and casual sign-offs. It's a structured, totally manageable journey. Alright, Section 1, Universal Standards. These are the absolute most common, most versatile ways to say hello that you're gonna hear anywhere in Germany. Take a look at this one. It looks just like the English word hello, right? But it absolutely doesn't sound like it. Let's focus entirely on your pronunciation here. Notice that elongated A sound. Hallo. Hello. This is by far the most commonly used greeting in Germany. Go ahead, say it with me. Hallo. Right alongside that we have Guten Tag. This is yet another incredibly common option you'll hear literally everywhere. Now, the key difference is that Guten Tag is mostly used in more formal situations. But the really great thing about it is its flex. Even though it's kind of formal, it's perfectly acceptable to use it absolutely any time of the day. Moving on to Section 2, Greetings by time of day. From waking up to going to bed. Now, as we shift to greetings dictated by the clock, I want to reassure you, please do not be afraid or confused by the grammatical similarities you're about to see just yet. Let's just focus on the sounds. Let's move to and see how this builds. You'll notice some patterns here. But again, don't get bogged down in the grammar. Just focus strictly on the pronunciation and usage. In the morning, you wish someone a nice morning by saying Guten Morgen. When the day turns, you use Guten Abend to wish someone a nice evening. And yeah, you can actually use Guten Abend even late into the evening. Finally, Gute Nacht is strictly reserved for right before you're actually going to bed at night. Just let those sounds and times of day sink in. Alright, Section 3, Regional Greetings Southward Bound. We are taking a conceptual trip south to Austria, Bavaria, and Switzerland. Now you are gonna see some new characters in a second, but do not let them scare you. We're gonna break them right down. First up is this character, often called the SZ, or sharp S. It looks a bit like a capital B with a tail, right? Well, all you need to know to demystify this immediately is that it produces the exact same sound as a double S in English. So whenever you see it, just think SS. That's literally it. So simple. The second new character you're gonna encounter is the Ü. Visually, it is simply a U with 2 dots above it. We'll get into the precise mechanics of how to pronounce those dots later on, but just familiarize yourself with how it looks so you're totally ready for our first regional greeting. And here it is, putting those new characters straight to work. Grüß Gott. See the Ü. And that sharp S sign? This particular greeting originates mostly from Austria, which is a huge German-speaking country, and it's also heavily spoken in Bavaria, which just so happens to be the biggest state in Germany. Now what's really interesting about this slide is how the exact same root word changes based strictly on social context. Grüß is for formal situations, but switch it to Grüß dich. And that is what you use amongst friends and people you already know well. Just remember one vital rule here. Both of these are in the singular form, so you don't use them to address a whole group of people. Let's travel a bit further south to Switzerland for this next one. Servus. Now this greeting originates in Switzerland, but it is incredibly popular throughout southern Germany too. Servus is fantastic because it acts as a brilliant multi-tool. It can mean both hello and bye, and you can confidently use it at absolutely any time of the day. A real game changer. This brings us to Section 4, Farewells and Casual Sign-Offs. Now we're going to focus on how to gracefully part ways in German-speaking regions, and this brilliantly illustrates a really sharp contrast in German farewells. Auf Wiederhören is formal, and it's used and understood all over Germany. Alternatively, Tschüss, which you'll actually sometimes see spelled with a double S at the end, is your go-to informal sign-off. Just like its formal counterpart, it's spoken universally across the entire country. Now consider this next phrase.
Auf Wiederhören.
It sounds very similar to
Auf Wiedersehen.
but I must emphasize this heavily.
Auf Wiederhören.
Is strictly solely for use on the phone. Why? Because you cannot physically see the person on the other end of the line. You are hoping to hear them again, not see them again. It's a really crucial distinction to keep in mind. Let's return to our phonetic focus for just a second. Notice that elongated a sound again in the word.
Bald. From the phrase. Bis bald. BALD. Bis bald.
It's the exact same sound we learned way back in section 1 with the word.
Hallo. Bis bald.
Is a really common super warm phrase used mostly amongst friends. And hey, if you want a slight variation, you can just use
Bis später.
This is simply a handy alternative form to
Bis bald.
and it works just as well in those casual, friendly scenarios. Alright, we've covered a ton of ground today. Here is your rapid summary, a complete 13 greetings cheat sheet.
Hallo. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Guten Abend. Gute Nacht. Grüß Gott. Grüß Sie. Grüß dich.
Servus.
Tschüss.
Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiederhören. Bis bald.
I highly encourage you to pause the explainer right here, use this as a visual cheat sheet, and practice repeating every single one of them out loud to really lock in that pronunciation.
Danke.
Thanks so much for joining me on this linguistic journey. So the crucial point is that understanding the grammar is totally secondary right now. Practicing the sounds and the usage out loud is the key to truly mastering these fundamental words. I really hope this gave you a great feel for the German language. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a quick thought to ponder. Think back over the list we just covered. Which of these 13 greetings are you most excited to actually use out loud on your next adventure? Take that excitement, keep practicing, and go bring those words to life in the real world.